Once upon a time, nestled in a cozy little house with their mother, lived three little pigs. They were a cheerful trio, but the day came when their mother told them it was time to go out into the big, wide world and build homes of their own. She packed each of them a little bag, gave them a big hug, and warned them, "Whatever you do, do it the very best you can. And always, always watch out for the big bad wolf." So the three little pigs waved goodbye and set off on their adventure. The first little pig was a bit on the lazy side. He wanted to finish his house quickly so he could spend the rest of the day playing. As he trotted along, he met a farmer carrying a bundle of straw. "Excuse me," said the pig, "could you please sell me some of that straw to build my house?" The farmer kindly agreed, and the pig got to work. In no time at all, he had built a house of straw. It wasn't very strong, but he didn't care. He danced around his new home, singing, "I built my house of straw. I built my house of hay. I'm safe and sound, and now I'll play all day." The second little pig was a little less lazy than his brother, but he still wanted to get his work done fast. Soon he came across a man with a cart full of sticks. "Oh, sticks," he thought, "those are stronger than straw, but still quick to build with." He politely asked the man, "Sir, would you be so kind as to sell me some of those sticks to build my house?" The man agreed, and the second pig began construction. He stacked and tied the sticks together, and soon he had a house of his own. It was a bit wobbly, but he was pleased. "My house of sticks is strong and quick. No wolf can get me with his trick," he sang, joining his brother in a merry dance. Now, the third little pig was different. He remembered his mother's words, "Whatever you do, do it the very best you can." He knew that a house of straw or sticks wouldn't be safe from the big bad wolf. He walked much farther than his brothers until he saw a man with a wheelbarrow full of heavy, red bricks. "This is it," he thought. "This is what I need to build a strong house." He went up to the man and said, "Please, sir, can I buy some of your bricks to build my house?" The man was happy to help, and the third little pig began the hard work. It took him a very long time. He had to mix mortar, lay each brick carefully, and build a sturdy chimney. His brothers laughed at him. "Why are you working so hard?" they teased. "Come and play with us." But the third pig just shook his head and kept on working, saying, "I'll build my house of bricks so strong the wolf won't bother me for long." Finally, his solid brick house was finished, complete with a strong wooden door and a big fireplace. He felt tired, but very, very safe. The very next day, a shadow fell over the countryside. It was the big bad wolf, and he was very hungry. He crept through the woods and soon spotted the first little pig's house of straw. He licked his lips and knocked on the door. Little pig, let me come in," he growled in a deep voice. The first little pig's happy song stopped. He peeked through a crack and saw the wolf's big, pointy ears. "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin," he squeaked, his voice trembling. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." roared the wolf. And he took a great big breath and huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the straw house all to pieces. The first little pig squealed in terror and ran as fast as his little legs could carry him to his brother's house of sticks. He scrambled inside just as the wolf arrived. 2 for the price of 1. The wolf chuckled. He knocked on the stick door. Little pigs, let me come in. The 2 pigs huddled together, shaking with fear. Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins. They cried out together, "Then I'll huff, and I'll blow your house in." The wolf bellowed. He took an even bigger breath this time. He huffed and he puffed, and with a mighty blow the house of sticks came tumbling down. The 2 little pigs squealed and ran for their lives, straight to their brother's house of bricks. They burst through the door, slamming it shut just as the wolf came panting up the path. "Let us in, brother, let us in. The wolf is coming," they cried. The 3rd little pig, calm and collected, bolted the strong door. Soon there was a loud knock. Little pigs, let me come in." The wolf sounded very angry now. The 3rd little pig walked to the door and said confidently, "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in," screamed the wolf. He huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he huffed. He blew until his face was red, but the brick house didn't move. Not one single brick even wobbled. The wolf was furious and out of breath. He knew he couldn't blow the house down, so he had to think of a trick. He put on a friendly voice and called out, "Little pig, I know where there's a lovely field of sweet turnips." The 3rd pig, wise to the wolf's ways, asked, "Where in Mr. Smith's field?" Said the wolf. "I'll come for you tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, and we can go together." But the clever little pig got up at 5 o'clock, went to the field, gathered the turnips, and was back home before the wolf even arrived. When the wolf knocked at 6, the pig called out, "I've already been and come back, and I have a delicious pot of turnip soup on the fire." The wolf was even angrier. He tried again. "Little pig," he said sweetly, "I know where there's a beautiful apple tree." "But where?" asked the pig. "Down at Merry Garden," the wolf replied. "I'll be there at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning to get you." The next morning, the pig was up at 4, but the apple tree was farther away, and he had to climb it. Just as he was in the branches, he saw the wolf coming. "Oh no," he thought. "Hello, little pig," snarled the wolf. "Are the apples nice?" "Yes, very," said the pig. "I'll throw one down for you." He threw an apple as far as he could, and while the wolf ran to get it, the little pig jumped down and ran home. The wolf was absolutely fuming now. He had one last desperate idea. He climbed onto the roof of the brick house. The pigs heard him scrambling around up there. "He's on the roof," whispered the first 2 pigs. "What are we going to do?" The 3rd little pig, however, had a plan. He had been boiling a huge pot of water in his fireplace for laundry. "Quick," he whispered to his brothers, "stoke the fire." They added more wood, and the fire roared, making the big pot of water bubble and steam. The wolf, meanwhile, peered down the chimney. Aha, he thought. I'll slide down the chimney and catch them all. He wiggled his body into the top of the chimney and began to slide down, down, down. He went right into the darkness. But at the bottom wasn't a nice, cozy hearth. Instead, splash! He landed right in the giant pot of boiling water. With a yelp of shock and pain, he shot back up the chimney like a rocket and ran away, howling, never to be seen in that part of the country again. The three little pigs were safe. The first two pigs thanked their clever brother over and over. They had learned a very important lesson that day. From then on, they always remembered their mother's words, "Whatever you do, do it the very best you can." And so they all built their own strong houses of brick, and the three little pigs lived happily and safely ever after. Thanks so much for watching our story today. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like and consider subscribing for more classic tales. We'll see you next time. Bye.